Welcome back, everybody, to podcast number 12.
Look, my legs are naked. You know what that means? I'm in shorts, and that means it's getting warm out.
Thank you.
The seasons are changing.
Thank you for the fun fact, I guess. So today we're going to talk about dreams. Well, what do we mean? We're going to talk about dreams, just dreams that we've had.
We're just going to share some of our dreams.
We
We have some really, really bizarre ones.
hers are worse than mine, that's for sure.
What do you mean worse?
Just there's more going on. Like, I
Mine
forget
are
mine.
complete
usually.
chaos. Like, mine always have multiple parts. There's always tons going on. Basically, they could be, like, fever dream movies. Like, I wish I could display them for other people to see and I could watch. Other people would probably get disturbed by them, but...
Okay. So, we're only going to tell 2 to 3 each.
Mhm.
It's going to depend how long the other one person's goes.
Mine are always really long.
So I'm going to go first. So this one I had recently, I already told Ashley this because she thought it was funny too. So as you know, sometimes you dream of the last thing you see, read, or hear, just because it's fresh in your mind. So I was scrolling through Facebook before bed and I stopped on a post that was talking about, how friends will make like a marriage pact. If I'm not married before 30, we're just going to marry each other because why not?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, it was still open to my phone when I woke up in the morning. So basically it's a little jumbled, but the main concept for what I remembered is that me and Ashley were getting married because we didn't get married before 30.
People already think we're gonna get married in real life for some unknown reason too.
I barely even hug Ashley, let alone
She
marry
doesn't
her.
do any physical contact.
So anyways, we were getting married. Ashley was in her wedding dress, and it was like almost like a convention because at some point she was also in her Mary Alice costume, and we were also doing a convention for that.
You know that Mary Alice just takes over our lives so much that I would get married in that dress.
You're not married in that dress, but it was like the same weekend and you were also in it.
We were like, oh, we want to get married, but our film got selected. We can't cancel one over the other, so obviously both at the same time.
So Ashley was in her wedding dress, and Damien from Smosh.
Yeah, Damien Haas, if you don't know him, he's on Smosh. He also did, was it Nickelodeon? Disney.
That's so random.
He was on That's So Random and a bunch of other like random things. But anyways,
Yes.
He streams on Twitch. You can find him. He's just somebody we both enjoy watching.
He's funny.
He's super funny. He's one of the funniest ones. He's one of my favorite Smosh members.
Yeah. So Ashley was like in her wedding dress, and we were sitting down at a table, I think about to eat cake or something, and he walks in, and I look at Ashley and I'm like, go. And she was like, what? I'm like, go get it. Like, go get him. Like, and she was like, we just got married. And I was like, I'm not going to stop you from true love. So I was just like, go. And Ashley was like, fine. She was like, we just got married. I am not going to. I'm like, Ashley, we don't even love each other that way. Go. I was like, we'll get a divorce. Go. And I think I remember her approaching him, but I don't remember if anything actually happened. Because then it jumped forward a little bit, and we were attending a convention. We were still married. She was walking around in Mary Alice costume, and we saw him again. I was like, go. And you kept going, we're married. I'm not going to. I was like, go. I'm not going to stop you from finding love just because we're married. And she just kept fighting Luth about it. Personally, she was being, like, nice, like, good about it. Like, that's what people should do. Like, we just got married. I'm not going to go off.
I'm faithful.
But I kept telling her to go and go, and she kept going, no, we just got married, Makayla, no. And I'm like, go. I'm like, you either go or I'm going. It's one of the two. But that's
ridiculous.
Pretty much all. I remember telling, because I forgot about it, and then I saw Ashley, and I was like, oh yeah, did I tell you that we got married in my dream?
Ridiculous.
Tax benefits and all.
Yeah, basically.
and just to say we did something with our lives, I guess.
Yeah, so people can be like, how come you're not married or dating? How come you're alone?
We just did it for the status, not because we actually loved each other that way.
We're both straight, too. So.
But that was mine. That was my quick dream. I woke up a little confused. I do remember waking up a little confused.
I would have, too.
But that's pretty much all that happened. And I think at the altar, all we did was kiss each other's cheek.
Smack.
Something like that. It was like, you kept jumping like back and forward. But that was my most recent dream. So you can go ahead if you want to.
Alright, let me pull one up. So I have, whenever I write down mine, like, I'm also the type of person where, like, I write every single detail. Like, some people will send, like, a few different messages in a row. I'll write, like, 4 pages worth in one message. Just deal with it. So, you probably can't see it, but this whole document is just, like, dreams, and some of them are 2 pages long, single-spaced. So should I go further back? Because I think they might be arranged by time. No, they're not. I just wrote them randomly. Yeah, so I guess I'll start with the shorter one, the one that I was just telling you about. So it happened in, so mine tend to happen kind of like in segments that kind of like bleed into each other. Like there'll be this, and then I'll either jump to this, or there'll be like this weird like transition bit in it. So it started out, I was on a playground, but I needed to have an Incredibles outfit, so I just grabbed a shirt that was like an Incredibles shirt, and I took Jack Jack and I was watching him. So Jack Jack from the Incredibles, I guess I was just babysitting him.
Imagine babysitting that child though, when you can just light on fire.
Yeah, Kari had it cut out for her.
Horrifying.
So I was watching him, and somehow he turned into a chocolate-covered dumpling baby. And so I was taking care of him, and he was hiding in a box, and I guess I was, like, panicking because I couldn't find him. And then, like, his chocolate coating fell off, so I thought he was dead. And I freaked out, told his parents, and they came over. He wasn't dead. He gave them a couple minutes in the box with a little bit more chocolate, and he reformed. So there's that. And then the next part... So either these all happened at the same time, or they were all under one night. They're all under one date. This was in 2018. Again, I was with a child. 2 vampires were after us and each other. I was protecting the child from them. One almost bit him, but I got away. They didn't know we knew they were vampires, so we had to pretend to act normal around them, and like they were our sitters, so they didn't find out. I finally got the kid outside and escaped, then heard 2 vampires fighting each other. Then we ran into a couple other children who weren't sure if they were vampires or not, or we weren't sure if they were or not. This is all shorthand, so like, I'm interpreting a little bit. One had a knife, went to throw it at me, then the kid I was with went to grab it away, but grabbed the pointy end and it went straight through his hand. Fast forward a little bit, and we were all sitting on a picnic table and bench, and kid goes, "Okay, can you heal my hand now?" The one with the knife goes, "Okay," touches his hand, and the wound closes up, and then I think the dream ends. And then the next one, oh, you're in this one, this section. She's in a lot of my dreams.
Well, you see me a lot,
yeah.
So.
So a weird dream, a bunch was happening. That's the first line. That's usually how all of my dreams go. I was doing something, was with my mom and my brother, and we were trying to find our way back to a dump that we were at previously in the dream, and we needed to take volunteers from the place we were at, so a group of girls ran over to my car, and I was like, I can only take 3 in mine, realized my seats were still down, so I asked my brother,
Slow down.
to help. Am I talking fast?
Too fast.
Oh, sorry. This is how I'm...
Because she's reading. Slow down.
This is how I feel like...
It was like, what? And I was just like...
Okay, I'll slow down. So I asked my brother to help move the tire back. So I started putting up the seats, and then I woke up. At one point, it was me and Makayla walking Winston and Maka. So we were walking her 2 Danes. So we went into this area to walk them. There was a lot of other dogs around. So Maka walked ahead of us and around a corner. And then we were back further with Winston.
Wait, she was off leash?
I don't know. Like I said, shorthand. Not all the details are there. This is from a few years ago. A dog was scaring him and kind of going after him. So I went to throw myself between them, but as I did, it bit/mouthed Kayla's arm. So I glared at the lady who was there watching everything and said, "We need the owner of this dog now!" And she got all flustered and was like, "Well, he should have been on a leash." Makayla held up his leash, so he was on a leash. held up his leash and said she was also holding his collar the entire time. And then I added in that if he needs a leash, so does the one that just bit Makayla, and told her again to show us who the owner was. So she gave in and started taking us over to them. Then I woke up, or the next part of the dream started playing. I don't remember which happened first. Okay, so I think the two sections of that I started with is swapped. As I said, what I write. Who knows? That's a mild one.
Yeah, that is mild.
That's a mild one.
I guess so. This other dream that I had was in high school, and I remember it because I wanted to turn it into a book. I never did. I don't know if I ever will, but
I remember you told me about it. I can't remember what it is though.
I titled it "Humans Do Bite."
I remember it now.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting. Just don't know where it would take me if I actually wanted to write it. So basically, in this dream, I was running from something. And I was in the woods. So I was running, and I came upon, because I think a group of people were trying to kill me. Like, picture, like, stakes and, not like stakes, sorry, like pitchforks and, the fire and.
Mm-hmm. What are those called?
Yeah.
Torches.
Sticks on fire.
Torches and pitchforks.
Yeah. So I was running, and I came upon this community, and I was looking at them. They were, like, terrified of me almost. And they had, like, bite marks all over them. And I was like, and I found somebody, and I was like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, you didn't know, like, we were, or something, we were vampires. We were created. And I was like, oh. And I was like, then why are you scared? And why do you have bite marks all over yourself? And he's like, we're not, like, vampires. Like, we have to drink blood, but like, the only thing really special about us is that we're immortal. So they really couldn't do anything cool.
Okay.
So they're just, like, humans that couldn't age, basically.
Did you say they did have to drink blood or didn't?
They did.
They did. Okay. How'd they get their blood?
I don't know. Like I said, this is all I dreamed of. And then we were sitting, then it, like, jumped forward, and I was sitting on a log with this person, and I was trying to tell him that, like, people were coming after me to kill me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's like, do you know how we turn people? And I was like, no. He's like, they have to bite us. That's why we have all these bite marks, because of humans.
So they're poisonous.
He's like, because humans who are afraid to die keep trying to find us, and that's why we're in hiding in our little community to get away from people, because they keep biting us.
I'm just like, man, I just go out to the grocery store, somebody just comes over and chomps on my arm. I'm sick of it, man. And they're just like, I can't take it anymore. The psychological warfare. They're molars. They didn't even hurt that bad. They're grounded in teeth. But man, I can't take it anymore.
So, like, I was like, oh, that's crazy. And obviously he knew I was going to die. So he's like, we should turn you into a vampire. And I was like, all right. So he gave me a straw, and I stuck it into his leg, I think, and I started drinking blood, and it woke me up, because when I woke up, I actually had the taste in my mouth, so I woke up, like, wanting to puke almost, but it felt like it was just, I was actually drinking it, and it felt like it was coating my mouth, and that's why I remember it, because I woke up with that taste and that feeling in my mouth.
Maybe you bit your tongue.
Nothing in me was bleeding. I was fine.
That reminds me of, this isn't a dream that I'm going to share, it just kind of, like, dovetails off of that, but I've had dreams before where I lose my teeth, or all of them fall out, and I just have the sensation of just a bunch of loose teeth in my mouth that I have to, like, spit out, and I could, like, actually feel it when I woke up, and it is horrendous.
It's crazy. But yeah, so I woke up with the feeling of blood in my mouth and stuff, and it was gross. But then I was like, that would be kind of a cool book. Vampires who are just vampires because they can live, not because, like, they have special powers, and humans are after them. They aren't after humans, type of thing.
Yeah, so their blood is probably more like...
It's don't take it from me.
You take it.
We're coming for you.
This video is proof of where it came from.
And I saw the Google Doc where it's dated.
And I mean, this is dated too, so...
That too. But that goes even further back.
I actually had a dream recently that I want to turn into a book myself. She still needs to read it. It's like 5 screenshots worth of, like, text. It's not as long as it seems.
I haven't read it yet because she sent it to me and I was like, I have a headache. But then I was also trying to edit, so I was just like holding my head and then I forgot.
Yeah, I didn't hold a dance star. It's like, I'll remind her at some point. I just need an opinion.
We talk about a lot of things, so sometimes things just get accidentally...
Yeah. Shoved out the window.
So what is your next dream?
Alright, you want me to do the next one? Do you want me to do a long one? I can start with the first one that's written up here. Let's see, which one was this? Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, this is a long one. This is a recurring one that I've had. The beginning of it, I don't know, I've had it like 2 or 3 times, I think. But, so the beginning of it isn't always the same, but like the middle end always is. I've told you this one before. I don't know if you'll remember it or not. Alright. So, should I say people's names?
It's not like they know the people.
No, we have before. So when the dream started, I was in this big mall thing with people, and we were just wandering around and having a good time. I'm pretty sure that I was with Jen, Heather, Matt, and Jamie, so those are my cousins and slash friends. Heather, you guys know Heather, she was in our Supernatural Juniors.
So was Jen.
Yeah. Was Jamie?
Mm-mm.
No, she wasn't. Anyway, so I was with my cousins, and at one point we were in this outside area that was designed to look kind of like a train station. And it had a big train that just went in a circle and had some hills and made it look like a roller coaster. So it was just kind of like this train that just went around, like the giant like mall thing that you could just like go for rides. And we kept hearing Maddie go by on it. Maddie's our friend. And we kept hearing go by on it because it was filled with her and her army buddies. So me and Heather were sitting in one side of one of the areas, and the other 3 were across from us on the other side. I was painting Heather's hair to dye it, and it was strands and braids of different crazy neon colors and insane patterns. So when I finished, she was like, "Oh, I love it. Now I want to do yours." And I was like, "Awesome. I just need to go wash this paint dye stuff off my hands first." Then in the bathroom, it got weird. So that's the line to the next paragraph. So like I remember painting her hair like actually like with a paintbrush, like painting strands and like painting
I guess you
patterns.
could do it that way.
You could, but we were also like on a train in the mall. I was doing this, so it was weird. And then things started, like the line said, things started to get weird. I went in, but once I stepped into the bathroom, it was kind of like I was just viewing it, like my eyes were on a camera, but I wasn't really there. Have you guys had that dream before, where like that type before, where the perspective changes? So, like sometimes my dreams, it's happening in first person, and then other times it's like out of body, so I see myself going through it. So like this part, I just apparently needed to note that it was like my eyes were in the corner up by the ceiling, like a security camera. That's just where I was watching it from. What's the matter, bud?
I think you want some door open.
You want to escape? Is it just because you hear people upstairs? Okay, well, he can escape if he wants to.
Well, because our fridge door won't stay closed, so we have like a chair in front of it.
Have you not gotten those like things I sent you, the child locks?
Not yet.
You should get one of those.
Probably should.
They'll stick to the side of it. But so there was a dancer standing in the doorway of each stall, and I think they were supposed to be like Dancing with the Stars dancers or something.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, they were just like posed in like the doorway of each of the stalls. But one at a time, they would walk from their stall and go over to the girl standing in the doorway of the handicap stall. Wait, can I read this? Hold on. Let me just scan forward a bit.
I don't think your dreams have been like that awful where you can't say it.
I just gotta make sure. Okay, I think this is okay. Listen, guys, I don't control my dreams, okay? So they would one at a time walk from their stall and go over to the girl standing in the doorway of the handicap stall. Then they would do a little dance, and the girl that went over would just leave the bathroom after their dance. So they like went over to the girl, specifically in the handicap doorway, do a little dance in front of her, and then leave. And then
she got a private show.
And then after the last dancer had danced with that girl and left, the girl went into the stall, and Adam Levine this lead singer from Maroon 5 was in there sitting on the toilet, and she just started to give him a lap dance. I don't know, guys.
Multitasking.
Yeah, but all of a sudden the dream went from third person perspective to first person perspective, and I was seeing through her eyes. So it wasn't me, but like I could just see what was weird. And then Adam changed his mind and decided he wasn't super into it, so she stopped and walked out. Consent. And as she did, the perspective changed back to third person, and then I was back in the bathroom. So, like, I myself vanished from that whole thing. So, like, I was just getting, like, a random show. I really, really don't understand that or why. I don't remember when this was. It might have also been 2018. Or, I think it was older, because I think this was the second time I've had this. But I just, like, wrote it down. This part did not happen the first time. It's the part after that did. But, so I went over to the sink and started washing my hands. Then there were these people who started getting into a closet that was marked employees only and got into some, like, fancy soaps and towels and stuff and put them out on the counter. I finished washing my hands, and as I was walking out, an employee came in and was just like, "Who put these out here?"
I think I remember you telling me that part.
I like how that was the part that you remember.
Yeah, that's
just
the part
like
that I
some random
remember.
people coming into the bathroom and be like, "Whoa, here's the good stuff. Let's treat them real good." Taking their stuff out of like the employees only closet and sticking it on the counter. So I joined back up with the others, but as I did, there was suddenly mass chaos, and everyone was screaming and running everywhere, and I got separated. So I was like, I'll meet up with you guys somewhere, and got into a car, maybe my own, not sure though. That's a little note in parentheses. And started driving off. But while I was driving, I all of a sudden found myself on a kind of abandoned road and with no car, and I was super confused. So just kind of driving like down this like dirt road. I still like vividly remember what this road looks like, and it might be like my dream might have based it off of like one of the roads on the way to school to Keene, because there's like an arrow and like it looks kind of like this but dirt. But I don't think I had been to Keene yet. So, I don't know what that was about. Just a coincidence, I think. So, where was I? No car, super confused. But slowly I started seeing more and more people wandering around, and some that were less human than others. So I went to this house that was like the first one I found, and once again, I began observing in third person, and for some reason there was a narrator's voice explaining a story or part of the dream. At this house, there was a lady and her young son, maybe around 7 or so, but the lady was a ghost, and I think the son might have been slowly becoming one. So they had to quietly live there, but mess things up and haunt. And the particular style of this lady was that she would swap the places of things to cause confusion, and it was kind of funny. It's basically what I would do if I were a ghost. And she would get paid to do the haunting. So I guess she's just being paid to be a live-in ghost to support her and her partially human son.
Oh god.
The thing is, it was like weird because these people like weren't like dying. They were just like slowly becoming ghosts. And like they all had like different varying degrees of ghostness, I guess. I don't know, it was weird. Where was I? But while I was watching, the people in the house found out about her and her son, so they had to quickly leave, and they collected their last bit of ghost money as they did. And she kind of got a little mad at me because she was blaming me for it happening just because I was there, and then started explaining how she needed the money so she could get out of that place and get back to being human, and was especially concerned about her son. Then I realized I was also a ghost, or at least turning into one, because I could see them and other ghosts, and these weird glowing dice that had some symbols on them. And I guess we needed to collect dice, and once we had a certain amount, we had to give it to like a ghost, and they would roll them into the air, and it would help us become more human. So the three of us began traveling together, and I was leading the way, and while walking up a steep hill, kind of like a mountain with a dirt gravel road and forest of trees, a lot of them dead or dying along the sides, I saw somebody walking and starting to drift across the road. I noticed there was a car coming, so I yelled, "Look out," to him, but the car just drove through him, and I realized he kind of had a skeleton face. So I was just like, oh, I guess some are more ghost-like than others, and kind of guessed that you turned more and more ghost-like over time. But we kept walking, and we came across a few dice, so we eagerly went to go grab some, and I grabbed 2 off of a vine, so I now had 3 because I had had 1 from earlier, and the woman had 2. So we were just like, they're just like planted everywhere, kind of like a video game almost, I guess. I don't know, we were just walking around trying to collect these dice. And we came upon another house, which had 2 ghost people that were kind of having a sort of turf war. It was a man, maybe in like his early 30s at most, and he was helping us and telling us different things we needed to know and needed to do and how we could get back to normal and everything. But while he was, we heard the other ghost coming, and it was a young boy, maybe around 11 to 13ish, not much older than the woman's son. But this one was very powerful and kind of evil. So the guy was trying to hold the door closed to keep him out, but it was a struggle for him because the kid was more powerful and using his powers to try and force it open. So the lady there was just trying to protect her son, and I was there trying to figure out what I could do and how I can help, and then I remembered I had the dice. So basically you can have them make you more human, or make them make you more ghost-like and have more powers, abilities, / whatever you want to call them.
Guys hear that? I just walked behind the car.
What do you want? You still want to go upstairs?
Maybe.
Alright, we're getting towards the end, guys. It's the climax right now. So yeah, I guess like if this like powerful ghost thing like threw them into the air, it could either turn you back into a human or make you like full ghost or whatever you wanted. Let's see, where was I? So I thought maybe I could give myself more ghost powers, even though I wanted to be more human, so I could help the other 3 people in the room. So I'm just a benevolent person, I guess. Willing to sacrifice my wanting to be human so I could help the other 2. This is Dream Me, guys. Would I do it in real life? I don't know. I would like to think that I would. But I would probably be like, let's find another way. So I was trying to toss them into the air, but I couldn't do it because I wasn't powerful enough to. And at this point, I would still need a full-on ghost to do it for me. But I kept trying and trying to do it, and I almost got it. But the ghost boy got in the room and snatched my dice and looked around, especially at the mother and mainly her son, and was all like, oh, I can't wait to take you all out. You know, like menacing, like, I can't wait to take you all out. This evil child wants to kill us. And almost immediately, the kid tried opening the door again, and through the crack in the door opening, I saw the deranged ghost child now holding a gun of some sort for ghost people. So the guy is still trying to hold the door closed, the woman is trying to hide her son somewhere in the room, and somehow I ended up behind the door. So once again... Do you want to tell the story? Yeah? Where was it? So I somehow ended up behind the door. So once again, he got the door to burst open and stepped into the room. So I swung out from behind the door and tried grabbing the gun. I had it by the barrel, and he started pointing it towards me, and I was using whatever force I had to point it up or away from me. And during the struggle, he fired it. I don't know if it went through me, if the gun ended up being empty, or if I had managed to aim it up as he shot, but I was still holding it up and trying to get it, and just had this look of complete utter shock on my face. So I think it was the last one. I don't know what that means. But then after that, I woke up. So I had a whole long story there, guys.
Oh, wow.
Very complex.
So I think to get even close to one of Ashley's dreams, I'll tell 2 of mine back to back.
Go for it.
Because they're very short. So I just remembered this when Ashley was talking about hers, because Ashley also drew it for me. But in junior year in college, I had a dream. So this is when we were actually like almost full on Mary Alice at this point. Yeah. And obviously Mary Lou was in our room. She was like in between our both rooms. She mostly sat on the stairs.
Yeah, she had her own area.
We're like, this is yours. And I don't, maybe you might remember more than I did. I was dreaming that outside our dorm, so like in the hallway of our dorm room, that Mary Lou was running back and forth, but she was on fire, and she was screaming like she wanted to kill me. and she was screaming, and she was like, her flaming arm was going like underneath the door because she was trying to get in, and she was just like screaming. I forget things she said to me, probably funny things, and she was just like screaming at me because she just wanted to kill me, and she was just flaming, running back and forth.
Wasn't she not on fire at first, and then like you were like trying to like defeat her or whatever, and then either you or me or somebody else like lit her on fire, and then that's when she started just screaming and running everywhere, just ablaze.
That sounds familiar. So
you know what I think of when you see that? You know the game Who's Your Daddy? That like
the flaming baby.
When they just light on fire and then just and just rocket everywhere, leaving trails of flames. I picture something like that. Like it's just whoosh. Whoosh. Well, it's just like Mary Lou, like the doll Mary Lou. Like, imagine that moving.
Yeah, that probably sounds familiar. I think Ashley set her on fire or something. Or I did. But I think, yeah, she was trying to kill us. She got on fire at some point, and then she was just running the halls. And I was like, damn, thought that would kill her, but I guess not. And I'm looking, now she's even more dangerous because now she's on fire. I remember telling Ashley, and I remember she thought it was funny, so she kind of drew it.
Yeah, do you still have that somewhere?
Yeah, it's upstairs in my room.
Yeah, take a picture of it, insert it here.
If I can find it. Because I put a lot of my college stuff into, like, boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I didn't know where to put anything.
So I know it was, like, pinned up on, like, one of your corkboard things.
My God. Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
She was just on fire. And then this other one... As you can tell, my dreams are a lot shorter than Ashley's.
Yeah, mine are long.
See, either mine are long, and I just don't remember them, and I just remember, like, the main part. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I tend to remember a lot. Like you can see, like, mine are very vivid for me. Very vivid, very detailed, and I'll tell her these things, and it's just, like, a huge, like, long message, and she's probably... I don't know what you're like when you get one of those, and you're, like, probably like, oh, God, here we go again. Here's another one. I gotta brace myself for this dream. Do you enjoy reading my dreams?
Depends on the content.
Do you get excited to be like, oh, I wonder what she dreamt up this time, or are you just like, oh, God?
I do know sometimes when it's like, oh, God, and I tuck myself in to read because it's long.
Basically a short story.
Yeah. So my second one is from high school. Meg was in it. So I was in this crappy room, laying on a bed, and you know how, like, in TV shows and stuff, parents, you know, will sit kind of on the edge of the bed and put their, like, hand on your, like, leg and their body somewhat twisted to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're upset.
Like a heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
Like, oh, child, I know you are having a rough time in school.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know what you did.
Something like that. So Meg was sitting like that, but I could not move. So I could not speak. The only thing that could move was my eyes. And in the corner of the room was like this weird fleshy demon that was just like staring at me, and Meg's like, it's okay, and I was like, you don't understand. Like, there was like this thing in the corner of the room. I was like trying to get her to see it, and she kept going, it's okay, and I was like, and I was like freaking out. And then at this point I was just like, is Meg the monster too? Because there's no way. And I think I was actually having sleep paralysis that night, because I think when I woke up I couldn't also move, which made me freak out even more. So not only was I panicked in my dream, but I woke up panicked, and I was still panicking because I still couldn't move.
Yeah.
But Meg kept going, it's okay, and whatever. I'm like freaking out, and then Meg started to turn into the monster. / Meg let the monster attack me, kind of thing. I don't remember what really happened, but I do remember, like, I do have the mental image of, like, the thing in the corner of the room and Meg sitting there in the creepy room and stuff, but that's pretty much my stuff. Like, I remember images, but I don't remember, like, everything.
Like the plots.
Yeah.
I remember plots and images, and sometimes, like, I'll forget them. Usually I'll try to, like, write them all out as, like, soon as I can, because that's the best way to remember them. I've never experienced sleep paralysis, to my knowledge.
Oh my God, it is the most...
It's probably good considering everybody who has it, it's like terrible.
I used to get it way more in high school. I haven't gotten it yet, but because I mentioned it, it's probably gonna happen tonight. It only happens when I sleep on my back, so I won't allow myself to sleep on my back. So if there's some part of me that wants to sleep on my back, I try to have some part of me turned a little bit, and ever since I started doing that, it stopped.
Maybe because your, like, body's in, like, too meditative of a state, so, like, you don't wake up fully, which is what isn't that what sleep paralysis is? It's, like, when, like, part of you wakes up but the rest doesn't. It's like
but
your body wakes up but your mind doesn't, or vice versa. I don't remember which it is.
Your body's asleep.
So your body's asleep and your mind is awake, and you can, like, kind of, like...
see monsters. Because it's happened to me multiple times, but ever since I stopped letting myself sleep on my back and I tried to be twisted, I haven't, gotten sleep paralysis. So for me, it's sleeping on my back, I guess that triggers it. But, like, I've been before, like, seeing things in my room, and I've had to force my eyes closed and tell myself to breathe, and I'm, like, panicking, and I usually start with trying to move my fingers. So when I'm trying to get my body to, like, react to moving my fingers, and once my fingers start moving, I start with my toes, and then I slowly build it up. And your body just, like, feels really heavy, but it's really, 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 really terrifying. I usually can't go back to sleep afterwards, because even if I know nothing was there and I can't see anything, but just the amount of panic that your body's in is enough to keep you awake, even if you know what it is. Just the panic, probably the adrenaline that goes through your body, it's just awful.
You gotta wait for that to, like, crush.
Yeah, usually, because then I start trying to move my head, and you're, like, trying to move your body, but your body's not responding. It's just awful. So I go, like, trying to get my fingers to twitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, awareness in, like, dreams is, like, crazy, because, like I just said, like, I haven't had, like, sleep paralysis. Have you ever been able to lucid dream?
Sometimes, mostly that was more in high school.
Because I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if I constantly dream, because I'm always in this weird state where it's like, I don't really control my dreams, but I know that I'm dreaming. Like, there's, like, my conscience and my dream conscience, and they're both usually, like, awake and aware at the same time. So, like, my conscience will be like, why are you doing this? Do this, or whatever. And then dreaming will be like, la da da da. So, like, I'm aware and conscious during the dream, so I know I'm dreaming. And I think that's usually the case, like, for most dreams. Because I've never woken up and been like, oh, thank God it's a dream. Like, I always know it's a dream. But, what was I just going to say? Forgot. But yeah, is anybody else like that, or is that just, like, a weird, like, me thing that I'm conscious? Like, I think it's probably, like, more like dream me is probably like, I'm not gonna control this, I'm just gonna see where this goes.
I control
let the chaos reign.
I can control my dreams in the beginning, but then I just lose it as it goes on. Basically, that's how that works.
Interesting.
At least for me, it's like I'm in control, and then I just lose the control, and then it's going wherever it goes.
Because I know there's, like, these huge, like, these big, like, step things to, like, how to get yourself to lucid dream, to, like, fully control your dreams. I don't think it would work for me, though, just because of the way I fall asleep and, like, with my racing thoughts and everything.
Yeah. But if you want to hear more about our dreams, let us know. We can always do a part 2.
I have a lot.
She has a lot. I cut her off because she has too many.
Yeah, we determined that I would only do a couple because mine were so long.
Yeah, I was like,
story time.
I was like, if you do 2 short ones, you can do a third one. But
and I'm just like, the ones that I have prepared on this list, because, like, I was surprised by this topic anyway, so I was like, I'll just go with what I already have written down somewhere.
Mine are just short. I could probably tell 5 to her 1.
I know, because I know yours, the one you were just, like, saying reminded me of, like, other ones that I have. I can share, like, little blips of it, not, like, the whole dreams. But I remember, like, one being chased by, like, a ghost lady and, like, my skin, like, peeling or something. I don't know if you remember that one. That one I had a few times. Wasn't really a scary dream. I've had others that also, like, your snake dream or monster dream.
The thing in the corner.
I think that was it. It reminded me of a couple others that I've had. Something that I've had in a few dreams, which is, like, a recurring thing, I think it usually happens in, like, a time of, like, stress or whatever, is in my dream, I find that I can't move properly. Like, I'm, like, stuck and I'm moving in slow motion and everything else is happening around me. And I'm, like, struggling and I'm, like, stressed out and I'm like, oh my God, why can't I move? I'm going so slow. I need to, like, get out of here. I need to escape. Or there was also another one where, like, I couldn't talk. Like, I would try to speak and nothing would come out. And I think those are usually, like, pretty, like, disgusting. Jax is licking her hand. You can probably see. Take your hand away!
It's keeping him quiet. Keep going.
It's not keeping his quiet. It's keeping his tongue loud. Don't you dare. I don't want it. But yeah, so I feel like those are usually pretty symbolic and, like, come out as, like, a way to to be like you're feeling stuck in life, or you feel like you're not being like heard, or you feel like you're not going anywhere. I feel, because I've like looked up like dream meanings before to try to like figure out my dreams, because sometimes they're just absolute batshit crazy. Other times, like, I feel like, okay, I think this had some meaning. Other times I think it's like both. So I think that was probably the case with those. I think they were probably happening in a stressful time in my life. I don't know, I didn't have a lot of stressful times. But why are you upset? Why are you upset?
He wants to tell us about his dreams.
I want to know about your dreams. I want to know about my dog's dreams. Guys, it's so funny seeing my dog's dream, because they'll both like do it like woofs, woofs. Like, especially like
my dogs kick me in the kidney. They're like boom, boom, boom. It's like being in a boxing match, but you can't.
Yeah, luckily my dogs are a lot smaller, so it doesn't hurt as much. Jax, come here. He's bouncing. He's so dramatic. But they'll like Obi will like woof, woof, and Taffy will be like woof, 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 woof. She'll do like little squeaks. And it's so funny because like when like they both like twitch like crazy and like fully run, but Taffy, when she's like really out, her tail will wag, not just like twitch, like fully like thump, thump, like at one point I was
dream about you, because that's all they really interact about.
And I mean, that would make sense. It's like a lot of like what you experience manifests in your dreams. But, like, I'll just be like sitting on my bed on my computer with my headphones on, and I'll just hear thud, 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 and I'll like pull down my computer and I just hear tail like whacking against like the windowsill on the bed.
I'll be sleeping and then I just get a punch to the kidney and I'm like and then go.
That's why you can't remember your dreams. You're always getting kicked out of them.
But anyways, that's it for this episode. If you have any topics that you'd like us to discuss, or you would like a part 2, or if you want to tell us about your dreams, you can down below.
Or if you want more of my dreams and you want them like actually like a little bit more fluid, and you want me to like rewrite them so it's a bit like a story, or if you just want to hear more about like this, like I have.
Sorry about Jax's babiness right now. Anyway. He wants out.
He doesn't want to be with us anymore.
Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Everything.
Hit the bell if you want to be notified, because for some reason subscribe isn't enough anymore. So please subscribe to show us that you support the channel and you want to see more.
What's our catchphrase now for saying goodbye?
Do you not know it, or do you want me to just say it?
It's yours. Go.
Okay. Thank you for watching.
Bye guys.